What's going on? It's TokyoTron, and Anime 21 looks absolutely stacked. So stacked, in fact, that I needed to get two of my YouTube buddies to help me out in this video. So why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Alright, I'm Smizzle. I make videos of all types, and occasionally I make anime videos. But, you know, when you hit subscribe to my channel, you're getting kind of a loot box of just whatever I want.
And then I'm Brobble from Brobble Do Boy. I primarily make One Piece stuff, you know, chapter reviews, like analysis videos, but every once in a while I'll make a video regarding some other series, like I made some Food Wars videos and some like general anime videos.
Alright, so let's go ahead and get into the tier list of winter 2021 and just 2021 anime in general. And since we're all pretty much One Piece YouTubers, or at least we do that a lot, I guess we can go ahead and start off with One Piece.
The Odin flashback is happening in 2021, am I right? Like, you know, if you do the math, so I think that's automatic. That I feel like that automatically puts it at an S. Like, and plus, like, they're gonna Toei's gonna add some. Apparently, they're gonna add some new scenes with Oda's approval, or like pending Oda's approval, or something like that. That's what I heard. But yeah, I'm excited. You know, I'm excited for that.
So that's an S for you, Smizzle. What do you think, Brobble?
I'm also gonna put it at S just because considering how much they've upped their game for Wano, like obviously every single Zoro scene, like even Zoro like cutting down random ninjas in the forest, that looked awesome. Like they've just been upping their game with everything, and I think they're gonna absolutely kill it with the adaptation of Odin, Roger, Whitebeard. There's so much to come, so it's also a definite S for me.
Yeah, and I think it's also a definite S for me. Even some of you anime onlys, if you saw the intro to One Piece for the Wano arc, you know what's coming. You know we're getting Roger versus Whitebeard. We're probably going to get I don't want to say a full fight, but at least a bit more than we got at the manga, so that's going to be very exciting.
Oh man, if we get more of that fight, that'll be interesting. I don't know. That'll be interesting. I do have kind of mixed feelings about the whole, like, they extended the Big Mom Kaido clash, but it's like, some people liked it, and so I'm okay. It wasn't terrible, so, yeah.
So, next up, we got Attack on Titan Season 4. Are you guys caught up on Attack on Titan?
I have not started Attack on Titan. I've been hearing, like, really crazy stuff about, Attack on Titan, but I don't know anything, really about it. So, yeah, just from what I've been hearing about it, I probably put it at B at least, you know.
From what I know as an anime only, this series is behind One Piece, probably has like some of the most intriguing world building I think ever. And then like just every single like plot thread that has literally been set up from the beginning. Like I can't talk about it because obviously I don't want to spoil Smizzle, who definitely needs to go watch it. But like every single thing like is slowly being like built up. All the stuff with the shifters, just like literally everything. Like I hate to like start off with two S's because that kind of like shifts the weighing of it, but I would easily put this at S. It's, like season 4 is going to continue to get better. The reveal in the latest episode got me so excited. I don't know, there's so much to offer.
So next up we got Tokyo Revengers. I personally don't know too much about this series. I saw Masked Man had a video about it. He said it was pretty good, but personally I'm gonna put it in don't know for me, unless you guys know some things about it.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it.
I'm also gonna go don't know.
Okay, so next up we got Dr. Stone Season 2 Stone Wars. I haven't read the manga, but I did watch Season 1 of the Dr. Stone anime. Personally, I'm pretty hyped for it. Don't think I'm necessarily as hype as One Piece or Attack on Titan, so I put it on A. What do you guys think about it?
As another anime only, and from what I hear from like teching gushing about it, I'm also really excited. When I watched it, I didn't really get like a crazy S tier vibe. I don't think it's ever personally gonna reach that height. I'm open to it reaching that height, so I'm also gonna put it in A.
All right. So as a manga reader, this is I think Stone Wars is it is a very hype arc. But you know the thing is though, the hype I have for the Stone Wars arc, which is probably what season 2 is going to cover, is completely eclipsed by the hype I have for the arc after the Stone Wars arc, which will probably be in season 3. Because I think that's when like stuff is really getting crazy, things are really getting interesting, things are really heating up or whatever. But you know, I think the Stone Wars arc is actually like almost like bad compared to the arc after it. So yeah, we'll put it at A.
And as a manga reader, how would you compare what you think we're gonna get in season 2 with the Stone Wars arc versus what we got before?
Yeah, I think it is like a big improvement. Like, well, yeah, you get like subversions. I mean, expectations are subverted a lot in Stone Wars, as far as like I'm gonna try not to spoil anything, but like as far as character interactions and character the kind of relationships characters are gonna form, that's something that your expectations about characters and are gonna be subverted a lot. As in, like, you're gonna expect something, but there's gonna be some twists regarding quite a few different characters.
Okay, so next up we got Beastars Season 2. Personally, didn't check out Beastars Season 1. Have you guys seen it?
No, I've heard it was pretty good. From what I heard, it was like a B.
I have not. It's the whole first thing for me, you know. Like, I've seen so many people like I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but like it feels like it's kind of like Zootopia, but just a little bit more edgy. And I'm not sure if it's going to be my type of thing, but you know. And I've also heard like the ending is kind of the ending of the manga or whatever. It kind of flops or it kind of falls off or whatever. But you know, I can't really say anything for certain, you know.
I mean, I got the impression that like it has good themes of like racism and stuff, and like it like approaches that well, but I just don't know anything about it.
Okay, so next up we got Burning Kabadai. And so I actually read the first couple chapters because I heard it was getting an anime. So just as a quick summary, basically you have this soccer player who got injured and couldn't play soccer anymore, and then he turns to this sport, Kabadai. And basically Kabadai, it's almost like a combination of capture the flag and wrestling. So you just have to stick your foot past a line and then book it back to the other side before you get tackled. So it's kind of cool. I'm not sure how well it's going to stack up to other pretty elite sports series. Personally, for me, I put it in B tier.
Yeah, it sounds like it is an interesting premise, but you know, I can't really say anything, but it does sound like a B.
I haven't read it, but the description you just gave is awesome.
So then next up we got Dragon Ball Super Moro. I grew up on Dragon Ball Z Kai, have a lot of nostalgia for that series.
Yes.
Dragon Ball Super was pretty good. Didn't, in my opinion, live up to a lot of the expectations, but it was still pretty good. Unfortunately for Dragon Ball Super Moro, I haven't read the manga, but from what I've heard, I've honestly only heard somewhat bad things about this arc and some of the character development for Goku.
I've heard some things, you know. I've heard some positives, some negatives, because I've heard that Moro is going to be a very different arc, and I've heard that like there's going to be some very interesting like abilities being shown off. And you know, the thing about Dragon Ball is like, you know, it's all fights. Like at the end of the day, it's not anything to me. Dragon Ball doesn't seem to have any sort of profound, you know, overarching theme. So like the biggest thing is like the fights, you know. So like the better the fights, the more interesting the fights, the better, you know, the Dragon Ball is going to be, you know. I don't know, but yeah, there have been some things that I've heard that like about like the fights being interesting, but like the story, you know, kind of being a little lackluster, and like some things that were like set up to be twists turned out to not be quite as interesting, you know. Like I saw this one review of Totally Not Mark talked a little bit about Moro once, and like he said there was this one time where he like basically Moro was like wishing on the Dragon Balls, and like I think it might have been like New Namek or something, and so like he had 3 wishes, and like his last wish was a secret. He kept his last wish a secret, and so like but like the 3rd wish turned out to not be anything very interesting.
From how like honestly for Super, really I watch it for the cool fights and the cool colors. So like I don't really care about like plot stuff like that when it comes to Dragon Ball. It's always a B for me, no matter what. I like original Dragon Ball the best. That would probably be an A for me, but anything like Z to Super is a B for me.
Yeah, I also think it's a B. So then next up is Eden Zero. It's by the same author that did Fairy Tail. Personally, I have heard some good things about Eden Zero. They said that it's better than Fairy Tail. I'm not sure how much that means.
Yeah.
Personally, yeah. So I don't know. I don't want to be a hater on this manga because I haven't read it yet. But have you guys read it or know anything else about it?
I heard the same thing about that. It's similar because he like blatantly copied the main cast. The main character is like if you fuse Natsu and Gray, and then the girl's just Lucy. But I dropped Fairy Tail like in the final season when they like all go into the main boss because it just got me so angry. I heard, I'm gonna put this in don't know because I did hear this is like the best writing that the author has been able to do, which is interesting to me because like it's a sci-fi setting which isn't common for like a shonen format. So I mean, saying it's the best out of what he's written is not much because I personally was furious with Fairy Tail's ending. But I'm gonna put it in don't know, although I would not hesitate to put it in Boruto if I knew a little more.
To be honest, Fairy Tail, I'm gonna be honest and say I haven't seen it, but like it gives off a very strong vibe of just like lack of kind of inspiration and creativity. I don't know how to explain it, but I can't really judge it or anything, at all because I haven't actually seen it. So I would just I can only put it in don't know. But something about me wants to put it in Boruto, but it wouldn't be fair. It wouldn't be fair if I did that. So
it's got a lot going for it though. It's got like great. I think the characters in this show are great, and I think like there's arcs that do stand out. Like the Grand Magic Games are phenomenal. I think even the Tartaros arc after that is pretty cool. But just like as a story, it's frustrating.
I think I'll just put it in don't know. Not fair to put it in Boruto just because of Fairy Tail.
right.
Yeah.
So Evangelion 3.0. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't seen Evangelion. It's been like that thing. It's one of those series I've been meaning to see. I actually wanted to start a podcast with a friend where every week we would watch an episode and we would talk about it. But that friend in particular, he has just terrible commitment issues. So like he would always just not show up, But anyway, Evangelion. It feels like I can only give my impression from a non-watcher perspective, but like it feels like it might be kind of soulless after like the end of Evangelion movie. Like what I don't quite understand the point of the other Evangelion stuff after the original story, So, but I really can't say anything because I'm not really like I haven't really finished the series. I haven't actually finished the series yet. So like, but it feels to me like everything like out of the few episodes I have seen of it, I've seen like less than half of it. But like out of the few episodes I have seen, it's like what exactly like it feels like it's going in a direction where where everything would probably wrap up by the end of the 20 something episode run, and then maybe the movie after that, right? So like I don't quite understand what exactly is the other stuff. I don't understand what exactly is it. But I don't know. I don't know what to say. So yeah.
So for me, I watched Evangelion. I liked it. I'm not sure I loved it quite as much as a lot of other people did, but I thought it was still pretty good. The whole series plus the movie, which retold the ending, was pretty good. But at this point, I'm kind of just done with Evangelion. I don't really know what the point of another movie is. But because Evangelion's so good, for me, I would put it in B tier, at least for the movie 3.0.
Yeah, I mean, I was enjoying the series. Like I haven't even seen the end of Evangelion because I honestly had no interest into it after seeing the terrible ending of the original series. So like I haven't seen to me my impression is that the rest of the movies are just kind of cash grabs. So I'm just gonna abstain.
Yeah, so the Gintama movie. Heard good things about Gintama. Obviously, if any of you watch Nuxtalkie, you've probably also heard good things about Gintama. I watched 5 episodes, wasn't really my thing. Do you guys have a better experience with Gintama?
Yeah, it doesn't seem to like it doesn't really seem to appeal to me specifically. Like I like the premise doesn't seem too interesting to me. Like I haven't seen like some of the humor seems like it could be kind of funny, but like I really haven't seen it. So yeah, I can't really say like how good or bad it was or wasn't, you know.
From what I know, I think it's got a lot of the jokes are like really like culturally, like you need to understand the culture to like be able to pick up on a lot of the jokes. So I see why it's not very approachable to a lot of people, but I haven't gotten to it.
So then, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 6 Stone Ocean. This isn't confirmed for 2021, but they did say that they essentially made an announcement of an announcement for 2021.
Right.
So I think, yeah, so even if Part 6 doesn't come out, I'm pretty sure we'll at least get an announcement of it. And I just read the manga around 2 weeks ago, all of Part 6. I don't want to spoil anything that happened in this, but personally, some people didn't like the ending, but I think that this could possibly be one of the best endings in manga.
Before I let Smizzle gush over JoJo's, I just want to say I actually dropped Part 6 around roughly like chapter 50, 55, something like that. I just find like, because for me I am not very like fight driven as a person, especially like reading it as opposed to watching it. I personally think the like animation, like adaptation, like really elevates the series, and I actually didn't care for a lot of things in Part 5, but I overall enjoyed watching it just because of how it was. So I think once Part 6 gets adapted, I will actually enjoy it more than Part 5, but reading it, I could not do it. So if it's going to get an adaptation, I would probably put it in A tier.
Okay. All right. So I am completely caught up in JoJo. I've read all the way up to like the latest part, and I read like new chapters of Part 8 as they come out. But anyway, so Part 6, it's a very so the thing is, everybody hates Part 6, but I feel like most people hate Part 6 because it hasn't been animated. Basically what Brobble's saying, but they're in denial. You know, they don't actually accept that. They just don't like it because like they're not the type of people. Like, I feel like a lot of the people who get into JoJo, they got into it because of the memes, and I feel like these people, they don't actually understand like some of the higher, the more profound themes of the series. And so like and you know, and on top of that, like a lot of them, I feel like they're not even like they're not really into manga that much, and they don't even read manga that often. And so like they can't like, so like when they read, you know, when they're trying to read Stone Ocean, they really can't like I don't know how to say it, but like they really can't get into it quite as much. I don't want to sound pretentious, I probably do, but yeah, but I think the thing is like they don't like, I think reading like all of the JoJo manga and the JoJo anime, like it's just two different experiences. And like people will say like it is like a very well adapted it is a very well adapted, like very well adapted from manga to anime, but like there are some it is a different it's a different thing, you know, like reading the manga versus watching the anime. And I think and so I think like people don't realize like how different it is when they start reading it, when they start reading Stone Ocean. And I think a lot of people, they just started reading it just because like after Golden Wind ended, you know, they just wanted more JoJo, and so they went straight to Stone Ocean manga. But like yeah, I don't know. Also like, yeah, Part 6, it kind of like, yeah, it's got kind of its ups and downs. There are some things that I don't really like about it, or not really that I don't like, but like that I like less than that. I think there are some elements that I think are weaker than some of the other parts, like the setting, prison. You can only do so much in prison, but on the other hand, one of my favorite arcs like some of my favorite stories take place in a prison as well, like Prison Break, you know, one of my favorite live action shows of all time. And then there's Impel Down in One Piece, you know, that's, yeah. So, yeah, but it's a whole different, like, I don't know, like, I feel like, maybe some more, I don't know, something more could have been done with the prison setting or something. I don't know. And then you got some of the characters. Some of the characters are kind of, I don't know. I actually, I like some of the characters. I think, Part 6 cast might be one of my favorite, like, collective casts, you know, as a whole. But I don't know. I might have to reread it to get like a better appreciation of it. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, it's also got some really like some really heavy like kind of themes and stuff, and it really all ties together in the ending. And yeah, it really can't spoil the ending, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I think I'm really looking forward to it. If it ever gets animated, I'm really looking forward to it. I'd put it in S.
Yeah. And about Brobble dropping it, I actually will have to admit I did drop Part 6 for a couple of days. I did get back to it just because I wanted to complete the story. But the one thing that I will say about JoJo's, I love JoJo's, but I think that the middle of any JoJo season for the anime I watched and the middle for Part 6 that I read always just lacks a little bit. I understand that you need to have some build-up, you can't just go straight to the ending, but a lot of times it just seems like, oh, here's a cool stand fight to fill in some chapters, and then, I don't know, that's just my personal take on it though.
Okay. Yeah, I feel that way too. I get that. Yeah, I get that idea. Yeah, I can get down with that.
Yeah. But for me, I'd also
so where
put
would
it
you rank it?
For Stone Ocean, I'd also put it in S tier for wanting to see the anime. Compared to all the parts, I still think Part 4 is probably my favorite. But I'm still really hyped for Stone Ocean. Main reason, I really want to see what they do with the ending of the anime. All of these fan animations for the ending of Stone Ocean have just been so cool, so I want to see what they can do.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Imagine, like, I'm really excited for, like, the thing they do in the openings, where they, like, have the villain, like, interrupt the opening. I'm really excited to see what they do with that. Man, that would be really cool.
Next up, I'm gonna skip to the end and just get Vinland Saga out of the way. So, Vinland Saga. So, I've been sleeping on Vinland Saga hard. I just realized I had Amazon Prime a couple months ago, watched The Boys Season 1, Season 2, love that. And last week, actually not even last week, on Sunday and Monday, I binged all of Vinland Saga on Amazon Prime.
Let's go.
And I just finished reading the farm arc, and now I'm in the middle of them going to Greece. So I'm putting Vinland Saga Season 2 in S tier just automatically. I don't know, what do you guys think about it?
So I'm caught up in it. It is actually so fire, dude. The arc you're in right now is crazy. I think it's not quite the Grease arc. You got a little go. But like just all the, I'm pretty sure if there's a second season, it'll probably just be the farm. But the farm in and of itself is insane, and an adaptation of it's gonna be crazy. Thorfinn has like literally some of the greatest development I've ever seen as a character. And the way he like learns to fight, his new way of like fighting, and just like his new outlook on life is so incredible. And like, it's an easy S for me. It's thoughtless, a thoughtless S for me.
So here's my thing. All right, I'm completely blind as far as Vinland Saga goes. I know nothing about it, pretty much. That's the Viking one, right? That's all I really know. That's all I really know, like Vikings. And so like you know, I'll have no choice but to put it in don't know. But like you know, the fans of the series are pretty annoying. They're with that Berserk. What's that other one that everybody talks about? Like they're very pretentious.
Berserk,
about
Vagabond, Vinland,
yeah, Vagabond,
Kingdom.
Kingdom, Vinland Saga. They're part of that. Like that like that's the group of like just like pretentious. You know, you gotta watch this series, or you know this is too good, or either like this is too good for you, or something like that. It's always like, you know, they're always just kind of annoying, to be honest. Like those fans are kind of annoying, but you know, I can't really let that change my perception of the series, right? I can't really let that affect how I see the series, and I haven't seen the series, you know, so I don't really I would have to just put it in don't know. but I'll probably get to it eventually. It sounds kind of interesting. Lots of travel stuff. I've been really like looking for some more like stories in general that just have like a lot of like really cool traveling stuff. So yeah, I'll probably get into it.
The geography and like adventure aspect that like you sort of get from One Piece, like it's this show really comes close to giving that sort of feel. It's also just cool seeing like I'm really interested in like all this stuff, like just seeing how England was back then, how Norway was back then, how Iceland was back then, how Denmark was back then. Like there's lots of cool stuff like that.
And what I will say about Vinland Saga fans trying to push it, as someone who just watched it recently, everything they're saying is true. I watched a lot of anime. I pretty much give everything a chance. Some of the character development in Vinland Saga is top tier. It really is just probably one of the four goats of manga/anime with Berserk, Vagabond, and Kingdom. And unfortunately, after watching Vinland Saga, everything else became kind of mid for me.
Okay. That's what I don't like to hear. But yeah. I'll
No, you gotta watch it.
I'll probably check it out eventually. That's how I felt about JoJo fans. JoJo fans are a whole nother thing. JoJo fans are rabid animals. I hate them. But yeah, JoJo is pretty good though.
So next up we got Jujutsu Kaisen, a young goat. I don't know. So for me, even though I wasn't born back then, I really did like Yu Yu Hakusho and some of those older types of anime.
Yeah.
And JJK off rip gave me some Yu Yu Hakusho vibes.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
I'm pretty excited to see where it's gonna go from now, especially with what happened last episode. Don't want to spoil if any of you aren't caught up.
I'm not caught up.
I think I would put it either at the top of A or bottom of S. I'm thinking more top of A.
Okay, I'm cool with that. Last night I watched the first episode of Jujutsu Kaisen and the first episode of Grand Blue. And I picked Grand Blue, and I kept watching Grand Blue last night. But Jujutsu, like I got very the first episode. I was just kind of like, is tropey. I didn't really care for it. I'm still gonna watch it though. Like I'm probably gonna watch it like after I finish Grand Blue tonight. But like I don't know. It's just like he awakens a demon power, like it's like a curse or something. I'm still, obviously I hear the manga's crazy, I hear the adaptation's really cool, so I'm gonna keep watching it. Obviously I shouldn't judge off a first episode, but that's just my impression. I'm gonna say don't know.
Here's what's interesting. So I started with the manga. I'm pretty sure I started like either like a few days before before the anime first aired, or like a few days after or something like that. And like I was actually pretty interested in the manga. And now, like, but then, I decided after a few episodes of the anime started airing, I decided, okay, I'll check out the anime, but I wasn't caught up in the manga. I wanted to catch up in the manga first, but I was like, okay, whatever. I started watching the anime, and the animation, like, everything is adapted. It's like it's so beautiful. Like, the anime is just so beautiful in comparison to the manga. I think Jujutsu Kaisen is like one of the first times where I think I prefer the anime over the manga. Where I specifically prefer the anime over the manga, I think the only other time I would say that would probably be Mob Psycho 100, just because of all the music and the colors and the effects they use and all that. But yeah, I think I'm kind of tempted to be anime only from now on. I'm caught up in either one though, so I have no clue what happens like past the first couple episodes. I've been kind of I'm kind of in this spot where like I haven't had the time to watch a lot of anime because I'm devoting a lot of my time to some other things.
So next up we got Kingdom Season 3. I've read Kingdom, again, one of the four goats of manga. Unfortunately, out of the four goats of manga, only Vinland Saga has gotten a good anime adaptation. Kingdom Season 3 looks very bad in terms of animation quality. The story's fine. I don't think they're cutting too much stuff, but for me, this would be my first Boruto tier, not because of the Kingdom as the source material, but just because of how the anime is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much blind. I just know it's considered amazing, and since I didn't even hear like, obviously I hear Berserk, something like Berserk, you can only really read it. Like I hear all the adaptations are terrible. I haven't even heard of an adaptation for Kingdom, so I'm gonna put don't know, but I think Boruto is likely, since if I didn't hear about it, is probably not too much to talk about.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, I feel the same way. Like, I've been hearing a lot about the Kingdom manga, but yeah, I literally didn't even know there was an anime. I heard Oda likes it. Oda likes Kingdom. He drew like a thing for Kingdom, and I know it's like China or something. That's all I really know about it. Like, but yeah, it seems like an interesting manga. But I would have no choice but to put it in don't know because I don't know.
So next up we got MHA Season 5. I'm pretty hyped for MHA Season 5. I don't think it's gonna be as good as what we got in Season 4 just because of the content. And it's also not gonna be as good as what we'll get in Season 6 with what's happening in the manga right now. But I'd put MHA Season 5, I think, either top of B or bottom of A.
I'm also caught up. I'm not sure how far they're going to get with the... they might get into like the internship, not even internship, but like that's kind of where I imagine where they'll end up is like the internship arc. And for me, I'd probably put low A. I think it's still very good. Like I think a lot of people bash on the that's not a spoiler, it was in the trailer, class A versus class B like arc. I think a lot of people look down on that, but I mean I thought it was pretty cool. There's lots of cool quirk interactions there, so I would say low A.
So here's my thing. So like so I watched My Hero Academia up till with my brother, who like he actually started it without me. So like I actually started on like episode 4 or something, and like I felt surprisingly like not lost, even though I was I literally just walked in the middle of episode 4 and we just started watching it from there. And so I watched all the way up to the end of season 3. So the thing about My Hero Academia, it's a big mix. Like you got a big mix of like things that I really like and then things that I don't really like. And the things that I really like are like the quirks. I think there isn't a single uncreative quirk in the entire series. Like every single quirk is like really interesting and like really cool to watch. Every fight is like really cool. But like Deku, the main character, he's you've heard it before. He's kind of a bitch, right? Or like he was, at least in the 3 seasons that I watched, right? But I guess like his thing is like he's developing into more of a less of a bitch, I guess. I don't know, but
I mean, to that, like I think obviously I would agree with you. I think One for All as it is. Obviously, I'm like stretching it, but like I shouldn't go into that. I agree it's a bad development, but as far as this season on its own, seeing how that like grows, and I think what you mentioned is the cliffhanger of season 4. But yeah, what you like I think it's sort of the thing I have with the Dragon Ball as well, or like I'm not really like the plot is like it's pretty good. I'm mostly just like it's not exactly the same because I do like some of the characters. And I'm excited to see how the fights and like how the characters grow and stuff, because like you get to watch in this arc, we'll be able to see each classmate's sort of like growth and lots of like interactions between them. And I think that development you mentioned is it's pretty cool in the season that's going to come. So I think despite those problems, I think this season will be pretty good.
So ReZero Season 2 Part 2, I watched Season 2 Part 1. I really enjoyed it. We're getting some much needed character development for Subaru. I don't know exactly what's going to happen in Season 2 Part 2. I got spoiled for a lot of ReZero by choice though, I'll add that, but I still really enjoyed the anime. I'm pretty excited to see what's going to happen in Part 2. I'd put it in A tier for me.
ReZero, to me, like I've always been kind of turned off by just the idea of isekais, and I made a whole video about it. You can go check it out. Yeah. Anyway, ReZero, like it's just been kind of but I think what the thing about ReZero was like nobody had actually like managed to explain to me it to me in an interesting way, and so like I actually did eventually watch it, but it's like. It did seem kind of interesting, but at the same time, like it kind of like makes fun of like isekai tropes, but still has some isekai tropes. That's what it felt like to me from the first like 2 or 3 episodes that I watched, and so Yeah, and I'm not really sure where exactly it's gonna go. I'm not sure if it's like aimless or if there's actually something, and I don't really know. I can't really judge it too much, you know.
So ReZero Season 4 Part 2 did two really important things. The first thing they did was they implemented these things called trials. Again, not gonna get into the details of specifically how the trials ran, but essentially the trials are almost forced character development. So to overcome a trial, you kind of have to go through immense personal growth over one of your flaws pretty much, and that's what each trial covers. So that's how we kind of see Subaru and what I assume will be Amelia grow in part 2. And then the second other good thing is we saw Subaru do something that hasn't been done in any other isekai, like ever. Unless I'm missing something because I don't really watch isekai too much, but again, not gonna spoil it, but it's something that hasn't been done, and I think it's really cool. Okay, so next up we got Record of Ragnarok. Pure hype. I mean, I read the first couple chapters. Basically, the gods were going to do what they called Ragnarok and wipe out all of the human race. But one of the gods proposed that there would be a tournament instead, so you would have 10 gods versus the 10 most powerful people in human history, all in 1v1 matches. So it's a hype machine. The art in the manga is really good. The trailer to the anime looked pretty cool. Again, pretty much, it is straight up a hype machine. If you like Baki, you'd probably like this.
Alright, so it is just like a big battle like show. You know, those types of shows, like those types of shows, like they seem interesting, like kind of, but it's like I there's nothing I can really say about it. I don't know. That's where I would put it, because I just don't know. They seem kind of interesting, but only like mildly so, you know. Like I can't get too invested, like 1000% invested in like a show where it's just people fighting. That's it.
I've been intentionally like holding off on the series in hopes for the adaptation, because like when I heard the premise of the series, I was like, dude, I gotta hold off, wait for this to get animated. So I was really excited to watch it. So I say don't know, but I'm very excited for it.
Just because I'm also very excited to see it animated, I'd put it, I think, A tier as well. 7 Deadly Sins Season 4. Unfortunately for 7 Deadly Sins, there's been a lot of controversy with the last season in terms of animation quality. Also, I don't really know where the last season left off since I didn't finish it, so I'm not sure exactly where Season 4 is gonna go.
Alright, yeah, I haven't watched any of 7 Deadly Sins. It just doesn't seem quite so interesting to me. That's all I really have to say. Like, maybe someone can explain it to me in a really compelling way, but I haven't seen anything of it.
I'm interested in it. I hear the characters are really good. But I lost my Netflix subscription like 2 years ago, so I haven't seen it. I was considering reading it, but I got more on my plate. Hajime no Ippo is just too long. So that's pretty much taking up all my manga time for a while.
I'm just gonna put it in don't know since I didn't finish the last season yet. Next up, we got Shaman King. Shaman King is a fan favorite for a lot of people. I'm pretty sure it's a complete reboot, not continuing on from anything else we've gotten. I'm pretty excited for it. I haven't seen too much of Shaman King. I've heard good things, seen a couple episodes. I put it in S tier in terms of how hype I am for the season.
For me, Shaman King. Shaman King does seem really interesting. It seems really cool. It's got like a really interesting and cool art style, but like...
I'm blind to the series. I just know it by name.
Okay, so I'm gonna put it in S tier in terms of hype. I hope that it lives up to that. And then the last show is The Promised Neverland Season 2. I've purposefully not gotten to the manga because I think the anime adaptation was just spectacular. People that read the manga also said that the anime did it justice, so I'm waiting for Season 2. Season 1 was very hyped to me, and now I'm just really intrigued with what's going to happen since we got the ending of Season 1. What are the kids gonna do now that they're free?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with you there. Like, I mean, I heard from some people that, like, the first arc is often not lived up to very much. But I'm still excited for it because I watched it. I heard the pacing is, like, incredible. And I'm not going to put it on the same level as, like, Attack on Titan in terms of, like, intrigue to the world. But it's got the same sort of vibe where, like you see it in, like they're leaving their walls, kind of just like they're doing in Attack on Titan. And they're finding out what the rest of the world actually is. And I love, like, when done right, that can be very good. So in terms of hype, I would say A tier.
All right. I don't really know what to say. Yeah, I've The Promised Neverland. I haven't really checked it out. I heard it's like pretty dark and stuff, but I don't really know anything about it other than like a bunch of things, bad things happen to a bunch of kids. I don't really know.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put it at top of A tier. Only thing that I'm a little bit concerned about with season 2 is these kids seem to be pretty normal in terms of anime standards. I'm not sure what's going to happen once they get out there and they do have to confront these monsters, but I guess that makes it even more intriguing.
Yeah. No, I'm completely with you there.
So that wraps up most of the big anime coming out in 2021, mostly winter anime, some anime that are coming out in April and summer season. Brobble and Smizzle, tell the people where they can find you.
All right. I'm on YouTube, Brobble D Boy. You can find me on Instagram, bro_D_boy, and then I got a Discord I just made, and that's pretty much it. Check me out whenever you get a chance.
Yeah. So yeah, you can find me on YouTube, Smizzle, youtube.com/Smizzle. And I got a Twitter at Smizzle15, and I got a Discord as well. We're just kind of hanging around, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
And both of their links will be in the description. As always, that's just my take. Now let me hear yours in the comment section down below. And as always, to stay up to date with all my future videos, make sure to like and subscribe.